A police officer is dragged during a stop in Detroit, and officers fire shots fearing for their safety. Now, one of the suspects turns themselves in. I'm Dave Kinchin with the latest next.
A fire damages this house on Monica, but the woman who calls it home is 85 years old, has dementia, and wants to return to a place that's familiar. Can you help?
I'm meteorologist Rich Luterman. It's a much colder pattern right through the end of the week. Plus, some evening snow showers are likely for us. We'll talk about how much snow we'll get. That's just ahead.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 5 starts now.
The search is over for a driver accused of dragging a Detroit police officer with his car. The wild scene unfolding overnight on the city's east side. Good evening, everybody. I'm Roop Raj.
And I'm Sharon Asher. We're told the suspect turned himself in earlier this afternoon. Fox News' Dave Kinchin joining us live with the very latest.
Yeah, either police tell us late-breaking information that they did question this suspect. A detective questioned this individual, but they were released pending further investigation. This is a situation that really, as a neighborhood, rattled and certainly shows the dangers that police officers really face when they're walking into the unknown. Here's the latest tonight. Driver who allegedly dragged a Detroit police officer while escaping an on-the-spot investigation, prompting officers to fire their guns in fear for their safety, has turned himself in, according to sources. This following a dramatic scene that unfolded on St. Mary's Street late Tuesday night. The parents of one of the suspects watching the whole time, according to neighbors.
She yelled and told them, "Don't shoot," and they shot 7-8 times.
It all began with officers out on patrol checking out a car parked in a way that cops say looked suspicious, with questions about what was going on inside.
Both occupants seemed to be moving around quite a bit in the car. Looks like they were tucking something underneath the vehicle, underneath the seat. As the officers approached, they asked the occupants out of the vehicle. They did not comply. The one officer attempted to open the door, and that's when the car backed into the car in the driveway and then pulled forward into our scout car.
Investigators say once the driver tried to turn, one officer got dragged, prompting the two others to feel a threat.
Fearing for their own safety, two officers did fire numerous rounds at the car. The car did flee. We found the car a couple blocks over on Prevost. The officer was conveyed down to the hospital.
That officer was rushed to the hospital. Police then found out someone else was shot several times a few blocks away. That person was also hospitalized in critical condition.
At this point, we believe he was the occupant of the vehicle.
The case is still being investigated with many questions remaining, but neighbors say it's a situation that never should have gotten out of hand in an area that's already suffered years of trauma.
I've been over here 36 years, and I've seen a lot, but I just keep my doors and windows locked. We just got to take one day at a time and do the best we can.
Now, I'm told that officer who was dragged is in good condition. Again, there's a lot of details in this that are still being investigated, but that's the latest at this hour. We're live outside Detroit Police Headquarters. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Well, we wish that officer well. In the meantime, do we know what it was that the suspect was moving or shuffling around inside the car that made him look suspicious to police in the first place?
We don't. That's one of the questions we have. We're not sure on that just yet. Some of the details that they're certainly working on as they still try to piece some of this together.
A lot to piece together, and of course so many people have questions about how this could have happened. Again, glad that officer is okay. Dave Kinchin for us live tonight. Thank you.
An elderly woman with dementia and her family left without a home just weeks before Christmas. A fire tearing through the house that's been in the family for decades. Now they're hoping their community will step in. Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly has a look at what the family is up against and how you can help.
We've lived in the home for 54 years.
A family trying to get back on track after a fire wipes out their belongings and uproots them and their matriarch, Ruth Brown, who suffers from dementia.
My dad passed away in 2018, so my mom, she didn't want to move, so we just wanted to stay at the house. So myself, my husband, and my youngest brother live in the home.
That was until Monday when fire officials responded to a fire at a home on Monica just after 3 p.m. The matriarch and her son were the only two home, and they got out without injuries. But the damage to the family home is significant.
And when I walked through that front door, It's unbelievable.
Many items can't be replaced.
All these pictures are just gone.
And as the family works to pick up the pieces, they admit they did not have insurance on this house because affording coverage got out of hand.
Our Congress people, we need to get on top of that because the insurance on the house was $747 a month, and I just couldn't afford that.
As the investigation into what caused the fire continues, the family admits they're grateful everyone is alive, but now they must rebuild. They started a GoFundMe account, and they hope anyone who can help will.
They need stuff like right yesterday.
The Browns are staying with extended family for now, but getting this matriarch back into her home as she battles dementia is critical to her well-being and a Christmas wish for the entire family.
With the dementia, they need to be in their own setting. So the sooner that we can get to the home, back home, the better.
In Detroit, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Oh, Taryn, if you thought today was cold, just wait.
All right, and I guess along with that cold, we might see some snow heading our way. Rich, what are we expecting?
That's right, Taryn. And Roop, we are going to see some evening snow showers and snow squalls. You can see where the action is right now. It's on the other side of the state. So for the next couple of hours, we'll see just a few flurries. But again, some of those heavier snow showers will be likely this evening. If your travel plans tonight or tomorrow take you to the other side of the state near the Lake Michigan shoreline, there will be some higher accumulation of lake effect snows. 33 here right now, 29 Lansing, even colder up there around Ludington. How about live pictures from Petoskey? They're getting some of that lake effect snow at 29. Look at the wind chill values right now. All of these numbers heading lower through the rest of tonight. We'll get down to 17. That'll be the overnight low. And then check out what's coming up next. Breezy and very cold tomorrow. Temperatures moderating for the second half of the weekend. And with that, some Sunday wet weather, Taryn. A full check of the 7-day coming up in 10.
We will talk to you then, Rich. Well, all new at 5, FBI Director Christopher Wray says he will be stepping down from his post when President Biden's term comes to an end. Wray, who's in his 7th of his 10-year term, was faced with 2 options: leave or wait until President-elect Trump fires him. Trump picked Wray for the director position back in 2017, but their relationship soured after FBI agents searched Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort for those classified documents. In a statement, Wray said it was, quote, the right thing for the Bureau for him to step down. The man accused of trying to kill Donald Trump at his Florida golf course is back in court.
And his attorneys are trying to delay the trial. The defense for Ryan Ruth making it clear they're considering having him plead insanity. They say he's met with a mental health expert at least twice.
They'll use a psychiatrist, say, oh, he suffers from some mania or delusions. Right. He just wanted attention. He didn't want to actually kill. Not a great defense, but when you don't have much, that's what you do.
Ruth is now accused of waiting more than 12 hours before pointing a rifle through the bushes at Trump's Palm Beach resort in September. His trial was set to begin in February, but his legal team requested a 10-month delay to have more time to review the evidence. The judge will announce a decision in the coming days.
The Wisconsin man accused of faking his death and traveling to Europe is also back in the U.S. Police say Ryan Borgward came back on his own, and he's now behind bars. His family first reported him missing in August after he failed to return from a kayaking trip. Rescue crews later found his overturned kayak in a life jacket, but investigators say it was staged before Borgward fled to Canada to catch a flight to Eastern Europe. They believe he decided to return because of his family.
Well, new evidence emerging tonight that New York City police say connects the suspected United Healthcare CEO killer to the murder.
Officers say the gun they found on the suspect matches 3 shell casings from the scene, and that's not all. Fox's Connor Hansen with the story.
The NYPD says it has linked the ghost gun found on murder suspect Luigi Mangione to the Manhattan crime scene, along with even more evidence.
Fingerprints that we found on both the water bottle and the Kind bar near the scene of the homicide in Midtown.
Investigators have also recovered a spiral notebook that seems to shed light on the suspect's possible motive. The New York Times is reporting one passage in the notebook reads, quote, "What do? You whack the CEO at the annual parasitic bean counter convention. It's targeted, precise, and doesn't risk innocence." Those who know the suspect are now asking what would drive him to allegedly commit a brazen murder.
The Luigi that I knew and that so many classmates knew was a hardworking, driven, social kid who had everything going for him.
Investigators are looking into the suspect's recent back surgery and trying to piece together his whereabouts after friends and family lost contact with him months ago. Meanwhile, some are supporting the suspect, even offering to help with legal bills, according to his attorney.
Maybe these people are exercising their right to free speech and saying that's the way they're supporting my client.
The suspect is still being held in Pennsylvania, fighting a likely extradition to New York. Officials say he's in a maximum security cell by himself and is not under any kind of psychiatric watch. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.